Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Unity and Blender. And first of all, I also wanted to show you another things to keep in mind and one technique for building. So remember that we said there we go, that Control R makes like a loop around something, but it only works if let me put my timer on so I'm sure I don't go over the time limit. Last time I made a video it was way too long. It was like half an hour. Try to keep this one at 10 minutes. Okay, so the loop tool is great if you have faces that are like in series, like these four faces. They're all like in series, right? They're all like edge to edge. You can find out if they're in series or not if you try to select them with a loop tool, which is Alt, oops, Control R, sorry, Alt click at the edge that you want. Like Alt click here will go straight this way. Alt click here will go around in a loop. But sometimes you see there's some weird geometry that doesn't give you a full loop. See, right now I'm trying to do R and it's like all messed up. Um, Control R gives me this crazy loop. So sometimes you may need to rebuild your mesh. What's most of the time when you build something in Blender, you kind of make like a quick looks like model, and you just extrude and do crazy shapes. But then when it's time to optimize, you have to reshape everything, and this is another optimization, a very simple one. You just look at everything that can be rebuilt, and you try to keep squares, right? Another optimization would be actually in this case, since this wall is flat and so is everything around, I'm just going to get rid of this loop, of these edges. First of all, let's just select what we want to work with and deselect everything else because it's getting hard to see what we're doing. So with C, I'm going to select these faces. With Z, I'm going to look through so I can like select everything through. Okay. Let me hide it to see. Oh, I need one more. Exactly. There we go. Hide it. That's pretty much what I want to work with. So I'm going to Control I to select everything out and hide that. Okay, so let's simplify this. This is very necessary. So Alt click on this edge to select everything around. Get rid of these entire faces. These two I should have done get rid of vertices. Great. Yeah, and now I can just rebuild this block. I know that there's an add-on that takes an entire edge, a compound edge, and builds an entire face. So I could have selected the entire um, top loop and bottom loop here, and in one click of a mouse it would have done it all. But we're not going to get into add-ons yet. It's good to do things the hard way the first time. Okay, let's unhide everything, and look, it looks like the same house, but now we have a lot less vertices. Okay, so another technique now that I just thought would be interesting to know. If we are trying, so rebuilding these flat faces, that was fine and dandy, but how do we rebuild this wall? It's like all funkadelic, all weird. So let's see what we can rebuild. Let's see. Understand the geometry. This is sticking out. So what I'm going to do is first go from this point to this point and F to join them. And I need to find the right place to add this this loop here, this edge. I could select the top and the bottom and do subdivide in two. Right? I could do this, and I could do. I'm not sure where it is in. I think it's mesh. I'm not sure where it is, but if you don't know, you just do subdivide. Boom, and it just gave me a third point right there, which I can move up and down. But since this is not a vertical line, moving it up on the z-axis will give us this weird. See, it's not right. We need to move it on the edge, and there is a point. There's a tool for that. I think it's like edge slide, and we can't even edge slide because this is not even an edge yet. So let's think of another way we can do this. Delete that point. What I'm going to do is make a straight line again, and I'm going to extrude this out. And I'm going to try to find the intersection between these two. You can do that with Python, you can do that a few ways, but the simplest way is using this little magnet tool here. And you use the magnet, and then you say, I'm going to snap to the closest edge being the one I just created. Boom, as soon as I moved, it put me on that edge. Pretty sweet. But now you have to understand they have like one line this way and one line that way. They're not really intersecting. This line has no idea about this dot, so I'm going to delete that line. I'm going to start rebuilding this way. F and F. Cool. This normal needs to be flipped around, so is it? Yes, it does have to be flipped around. No, it doesn't, because this is the outside of the wall. Okay. Actually, this wall was... we could have just left it empty, because there's this, face it, this. Okay. So, same thing here. I'm going to extrude this point. I'm going to extrude that, and as soon as I get close to an edge, it's going to snap. Perfect. Get rid of this point. Oh. And build that. Actually, this also needs to be extruded. There. I'm going to build that just to keep, and I'm going to delete this edge. Oh, sorry. So yeah, you see that's Blender work can get very tedious, but the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more techniques you learn, and the faster you get, and the better things you can do. And you can see that, of course, the first time you'll build something, it'll be very basic, like this house. But let's say you build that in an hour. The next week or so, you can focus on like one wall. Like if I was making an X-wing fighter, so the first time around, I just built like the basic outline and just a basic shape, you know. And then I would focus on like each little panel, each wing, each subdivision of a wing, and add more detail to it, and that's how you get some pretty dank looking models. So E out. Yeah, Pasha. E out, and it's going to stick to that edge. Great. And we don't need this point anymore. And now I can fill this box and fill that. And it turns out this wall was not needed, so I can just rid of it, it's on the inside. And now we're going to go from here to here, face, and from here to here, face. Okay, we're getting close. I have like just a few. I'm not gonna go through the entire thing right now, but same thing for this door. So I would just join these two, and I would extrude this on this axis until it touched, and then I would proceed to deleting this edge, and I would now fill that. Ooh. And that was my 10 minutes, and you can see, you can see that this can be finished easily. F, and the last block is this one. Okay, now we have the full house. Not the show, not full house. Next video, I'm going to show some Blender working with Unity. That's going to be very important. Thank you for watching.